Hello, everybody. So we will start. Thank you for registering to Argentum's webinar for the CELTIC-NEXT call. My name is Lia Amoyal. I am the Cluster 4 Client Strategist at Argentum Consultants, which means that I'm specialized in calls related to digital, industry, and space. Here we will see that CELTIC-NEXT includes many topics and can be very helpful for different kind of industry. The agenda for today is first to present CELTIC-NEXT, go into the guidelines in more detail, to define what is a successful project, and to set an expected timeline for a project to be successful and to reach submission on time. If we have the time, we will do a bit of question and answers. So you are, please send your questions in the chat, and if we have the time, we will go through them. So before everything, let me present you briefly my company. So Argentum Consultants specializes in EU research and innovation funding. The company was established in 1999, and we have a great experience and expertise in obtaining governmental funding for innovative technology and research and developments. We have 30 employees divided into 3 departments: strategy, which I'm part of, business development, and the consulting writing team. Our vision is to target innovative funding opportunities and to enhance participation and success in multinational research and innovation projects. In order to do so, we need to be at the edge of the European Union policies and ambitions. So let's see a bit more about this particular call, CELTIC-NEXT. First of all, it's a cluster from Eureka. Eureka is a network of 48 countries which agreed to provide funding to some initiatives. Each country has a representative national funding body that supports its organizations by funding international R&D projects. So, for example, CELTIC-NEXT is more specialized in the next generation communications. Eureka is also a program from Eureka about low carbon energy. We have different other calls for more manufacturing, industry related calls, and maybe the most famous one, it's Eurostars, because it includes every topic. It's what we call bottom up, which means that you can come with your project. You just need to prove its innovation and, well, its feasibility to reach the market and to be very disruptive in the market. CELTIC-NEXT is a Eureka cluster labeled for the next generation communications. And the aim is to have a secured, trusted, and sustainable digital society. However, CELTIC-NEXT gives project proposers almost limitless freedom regarding what research topic they can explore. This clusters offers beneficiaries, mainly SMEs, but also large industries and research institutes, a way to expand their R&D capabilities through cooperations. So here are the topics of CELTIC-NEXT. I hope that you can see well. So smart cities, smart home, personal services, fintech, e-health, telecom, public safety, smart enterprise and factory, IoT. And here we have all of the technologies. So it's really broad, and well, many topics from various fields receive funding. Okay, what are the main core informations of CELTIC-NEXT? So the budget per project is up to 70 million euros. The budget per participant will depend on its national funding. since we said that the approval is at European level, but the funding at national level. So every participant will go to their national funding body and ask to receive. So Sweden doesn't have the same funding mechanism as France, for example, because Sweden, it's Vinnova, and France, it's BPI France. So it's not the same mechanism, and we need to check country per country how it works and what are the specific requirements. About the application, so it's the number of partners can be from 2 to 50 participants from minimum 2 countries. So it's not so problematic. Usually it's easy to apply. There are 2 cutoff dates, once in fall and once in autumn. Today is the day of the spring. One in spring, one today. One cutoff is today actually, and the next one will happen in September. Between September and November. It hasn't been released yet, and it is the call that we are targeting right now. So about the model, so first there is the European application, and then there is the national application. The countries eligible, well, mostly EU countries, but also some additional members. Something to notice, like South Korea is part of it, Switzerland as well. So there are some additional countries, and project duration is 3 years in average, but we can ask for extensions of projects, which are mostly accepted. And the evaluation, so I must correct myself, it's not totally around 1 month. It depends. It depends. It's usually 3 to 6 months. Okay, so yes, and the percentage of funding varies and is generally in the region between 30% up to 60% of the total budget. About the eligibility, so here is a table, I hope that you see it well, of different countries that are considered as eligible. Since it's national funding, each partner will be in touch with their national contact point to check. Are we eligible? What is the budget? What is the funding rate? It will depend on the type of entity. SMEs, large industry and research institute don't receive usually the same funding rate. And some countries will require the participation of multiple entities from their own country to provide funding. Once you receive the label CELTIC-NEXT, so it's at European level, you are granted the right to ask for the funding to your national funding authority. So a few examples about national specificities. Those I've checked. For Austria, the funding body is FFG, and there is no dedicated budget, but the grant is up to 60% for SMEs. They don't have specific requirements. I see that there is one attendant from Sweden, so happy that it appears here. So from Sweden, it's gonna be Vinnova. They have allocated a budget of 1 million euros to be distributed among the participants, and the grant is up to 50% for the SMEs. There is one requirement from Vinnova is that the maximum of the cost, the total cost of Swedish partners cannot be more than 50% of the total eligible cost. So that's something. We have also Switzerland that asked the Swiss industrial partner, so SMEs, large industry, to be also associated with one research institute. Okay, so let's continue. A successful project, how does it look like? Well, usually the minimum is 6 to 7 participants. I haven't seen any projects who received funding with less than that. They are gathering SMEs and large companies mostly because it's a call that is market oriented. However, research institutes are also welcome to join, but they are not the majority. Usually, because of these national specificities and well, differences, they gather the participants within a small number of countries. So we are sure of the participants that will apply. The usual structure is we have one concept leader who will provide his technology, a few additional technology providers that can bring some value, and then there will be many use cases in different environments. Let's have here two examples of funding projects. So the first one was Project Integrated Care for Next Generation. The objectives were to improve wellness and care at home, directed by data-driven methods. And the budget asked was 3.4 million euros. It was divided between 17 companies and research institutes, and the countries involved. So you see, it's very diverse: Canada, Hungary, Korea, Portugal, Ukraine, Turkey. So it's just an example to show you that this one is digital, but also health related. We also have the second one. It's about travel, smart travel digital ecosystem. So it's about transportation, accommodation associated to digital. And well, the budget exploded this time, almost 30 million euros. That was divided between only 11 entities from a small level of countries. So, okay. One example of a project that we was successful for Argento. So the number of participants was 6. The budget that we asked was 10 million euros, and the countries involved were from Europe and some associated countries. The topic was about digital twinning. So how did we succeed? What was the process that we used? So first, we discussed with the client and we identified together a project he wanted to develop. One project that would be innovative, international, and market-oriented. So then we identified the missing expertise. So mostly use cases, how to implement the technology into multiple environments to show that it's scalable, we can adapt to many environments. Also, we integrated some technology providers and research centers that we thought would be valuable. The next phase was to use our networks, so my network, but also the client's network, to contact relevant partners, how they can bring value to the project. Are they interested? Did we check the eligibility? So everything was set. The concept of the project evolved according to each partner's contribution. Once the consortium was ready and the project was finalized, the project was transferred to a project manager within Argento, and the project manager supported and coordinated the proposal preparation. We submitted and we received the approval from Eureka, and then there was a national application for every participant. So here we have an expected timeline. As we said, CELTIC-NEXT has 2 cutoff dates, so we will try to reach the one for that will open in September, and the deadline should be around September and October. Since it has not been released, it's a bit tricky to already set a date, but well, that's what we expect to happen. So in order to apply for this call, we need to use the timeline to our advantage. So first, we can work on a consortium consolidation from June. We will perform the eligibility check to make sure that everything is in order. Then the objective is to kick off the project in July for proposal preparation, to continue from the period from July to September. And well, the deadline is supposed to be happening between September and October. So we are ahead of time. We can write a great proposal, high quality proposal. About the success chances, CELTIC-NEXT has a good success chance. According to their website, 1 project over 2 receives funding. Okay. So thank you, everybody. Kindly turn your attention to the chat box, in which there will be a link to book a call with Dana from our business development team. If you would like to examine potential collaboration with Argentum on the CELTIC-NEXT call or on other calls, Dana will be happy to assist you. I will just go over the few questions that are here. Can you please provide further information specifically on the Israeli companies? Practical funding rates up to 60%, but how is it in the reality based on your experience? Stages of funding, meaning when we need to submit national application to Israeli to IIA, and the overall procedure from the application to CELTIC-NEXT to submission to Israeli Innovation Authority. Thank you. Okay, big question. So the funding rates, yes, up to 60%. Usually it's less. Usually it's up to 45%. But it's based on the project and the innovation of the project. Stages of funding. So yes, first there is the European funding, and then we submit at a national level, so to IIA. From the application to submission. I think I've answered. And are you found a partnership? So for now, well, we would like to target this call. If you're interested to target this call and among other calls, we will be happy to assist. But for now, we don't have a coordinator that would like to promote his project. A 2-step approval process. Can the national application only be handed in it once the approval is granted at Eureka level? Can it then still be rejected at the national level? So the national application depends on the country, the specific country. Some countries will ask an application, national application in parallel to the European application. That's not what is usually done, but well, some countries will ask that. And can it be rejected at national level if it was granted by Eureka? So yes, but this it's about the budget that they have allocated. For example, Vinova has allocated 1 million euros to its participants for the year 2023, CELTIC-NEXT. So if many Swedish partners have received the label Eureka, they will need to rank somehow in order to distribute the 1 million euro to the Swedish participants. And well, if there are some Swedish participants who received the label but are ranked after that the 1 million euro is distributed, they would not receive the funding. What is a typically funding budget granted for German large enterprises or SMEs? I don't remember for large enterprises, but for SMEs, I know. So the funding rate is usually up to 50%. And the budget can be very high. I don't know the maximum. We need to check for every company. When IIA asks for national application submission in parallel to CELTIC-NEXT or after approval, or what do we need to submit to IIA, only budget or technical document? Well, it's a national application. So they will ask for usually technical documents, yes, but budget also, a summary of the project as well. So every country will ask, and sometimes also year after year, it's not exactly the same material that is asked. So it's a small application at the national level. It's a small application. What are the rough standard conditions of Argentum usually? % of the funding budget in case of success, or fixed amounts in between? If you are interested about how Argentum does services, you can contact Dana. I think that my colleague has already sent the link to book a meeting with her, and she will be able to receive your questions and to answer you also about the funding opportunities, but also about how we work. Okay, I think that we're done. Thank you very much, everybody, for joining. I hope it was helpful. Have a nice day, and happy to discuss it further if you wish in different meetings.